Hello guys, MonkeyBot here, and today I'm going to be giving my 2024 predictions for Total War Warhammer 3. I'm going to be talking about the races I think that we'll be seeing, the start locations, sort of dipping into the legendary lords a little bit. I'm not going to be talking about specific mechanics, I'm just going to be talking about how I see Immortal Empires evolving over the next year. So let's start off with the first DLC, which is Thrones of Decay. I'm going to keep this one pretty brief, as I've already done quite a deep speculation on what I think the three legendary lords will be and their start locations. I'll leave the links to those videos in the description down below if you want to go check them out. But in those videos, I predicted the Tamacon for Nurgle will start in the plains of Zambanjin in the northern Chaos Wastes. Elspeth von Draken will have a dual start location, starting in Nuln proper and Saber Mountain in the northern mountains of Morn. And then finally, for the Dwarfs, we would have Malachi Mackinson, who I would predict would start in Karak Azorn, again in the mountains of Morn. But now with recent information, we've been told that we're going to get a free legendary lord in this patch, so now we need to decide what that is and where he or she or it will go. We can pretty much guarantee at this point that the faction after Thrones of Decay is going to be a Slaanesh focused DLC, which means that poor Khorne is being left in the dark till the very end, and we probably won't be seeing him until at least 2025. So to give Khorne a little bit of love, I think it will be the perfect opportunity to add a Khorne free legendary lord in the patch of Thrones of Decay, and I think the perfect candidate for that, nothing too spectacular, but something that will still be appreciated and loved by the community, would be Khorne's bloodletter champion, Skulltaker. A brief summary of Skulltaker. Skulltaker is basically the duelist of Khorne. He goes around finding the most powerful opponents to 1v1 in a fight and kill them and then take their skulls as a trophy. So a very simple character, but at the same time, much worthy of a legendary lord to be part of this game. He's a much loved character in the franchise, so he should be introduced. I just don't think he's going to be a candidate for full paid on DLC. And now we've got to talk about his start location, and there's one location that he seems to visit quite often that kind of sticks in my mind a little bit, and I think it'll be a very good place for him. According to the Warhammer Wiki, there are a few races that he tends to fight a little bit more often, and one of those races is Bretonnia. And there's actually one province that isn't at war with anyone yet, and I think would be the perfect place to fit him in. And that start location would be Montfort in the Bastogne province. He'll have a lot of enemies around him, a lot of close territory to take advantage of that bloodletting mechanic. There is a close demon with him, being Nukari. I know Nukari and Khorne tend to be quite heavy rivals, but who knows, they might get along and maybe start invading Ulthuan together. I think it'll be a really interesting start for a Khorne position. You could either invade into the Empire, you could go down south into Ulthuan or the rest of Bretonnia. It's completely up to you, and it's very, very flexible. So that'll be it for the Thrones of Decay predictions. We already know that they are aiming to release this in April, so now we've got to talk about the future DLCs, which we know nothing about. So I think if we give the rough 3 to 4 month life cycle, the DLC that will come out after that will be around July, August time. We already can guess that it's going to be a Slaaneshi faction, so we'll start off there. And my prediction for the Slaanesh character, I'm probably going to butcher this name, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, would be Decay. Decay is a mutated high elf who was almost bullied into marrying a demon prince of Slaanesh, and then she became heavily mutated. She has a special liquid, let's say, that she produces that people become obsessed over and then follow her under any means necessary, basically. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much into predictions of mechanics or anything. As I said, let's just get into where I think she will be starting. And the settlement I think she'll be starting in will be Occam's Forever Maze in the southern Chaos Wastes. Seems a bit of a weird start location, but hear me out. Once you hear the other two legendary lords, I think they'll make a lot more sense. Now, the other two races that will be coming along this DLC is a mystery, but also at the same time pretty well obvious. The first one is going to be High Elves, and the legendary lord will likely be Aslin, the leader of the High Elf fleet. And I believe his start location will be the Tower of Sun, the 3 islands just below Kugarth and to the east side of the southern Chaos Wastes. You know, those 3 random islands that tend to be forgotten about? There. I think he will start there. That will put him in a nice location close to the Slaanesh faction. It will also be a very naval-focused campaign, which is very needed for this character. And it will also put him very close to the third Legendary Lord, which will be the Dark Elves. And I'm going to be honest, the character for this Legendary Lord could literally be anyone that's left. I don't think it really matters at this point. There's not many really unique Lord choices available, but I'm sure they could pick one and build up some mechanics and make something out of it. But the start location, I'm pretty sure on this one, and I think this would be the perfect opportunity to start opening up Ind. So that's where I think the Dark Elf Lord should go. Slap bang in the middle of Ind. Obviously there's no settlement names there, so I can't give that to you yet. We'll see what they're actually called when they open the map up. And they said they will open it up at some point, and I think it would be the perfect opportunity to do that. Leading into the last DLC that I think we're going to be getting this year, which will probably be releasing around late November, early December. And I think this is when we are due another race pack, which will be the Kingdoms of Ind. Now, I'm not going to go through a big speculation on what the Kingdom of Ind is going to be or how they're going to play, the units they're going to have. That's definitely going to be a video later on down the track. Assuming it's going to be the same as the Chaos Dwarfs, we're going to have 3 Legendary Lords. So here are the 3 locations on where I think the Kingdoms of Ind characters will go. Obviously, we're going to have at least 1 or 2 characters within Ind itself. So let's have one in the south of Ind right at the bottom. This gives you access to a few sea lanes. The High Elf Legendary Lord that I mentioned earlier. You'd also be quite close to the Dark Elf Legendary Lord. And then we'll put the other Kingdom of Ind Legendary Lord in the north near the mountains, just bordering Cathey. Now the third Legendary Lord. This one is always going to be outside of the territory of the hometown. It happened the same with the Chaos Dwarfs. It happens with the Tomb Kings. Like it's always going to happen somewhere. So I think a good place for him to go would be close enough to Ind to still be allies with them. And that would be the southern part of the Darklands, specifically the settlement of Ruin's End. This will be a very challenging campaign, but also at the same time you're very close to Imrik, giving you a potential ally, but you have to deal with Chaos Dwarves, you'll have to deal with vampires, you'll have to deal with ogres, you'll even have to deal with Kugath if he ever gets out of there. I think it'll be a very nice, interesting start for him. And that's kind of it. That's kind of a very brief prediction video of what I think will be coming in 2024. We do know of 1 free Legendary Lord, which I already mentioned, but there might be another 1 or 2 in there, but they're very hard to predict. So who knows on that side of things. So I don't really want to put them in this video until I know that they're confirmed as such. But anyway, guys, what do you think about this year? Do you think it's going to be a good year for Total War? Do you think it's going to redeem itself from the troubles that it was caused last year? But I've got good hopes. I've got good hopes that things are going to get better, that things are going to improve, and yeah, it's going to be... I'm hoping for a good year for Total War. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.